Hey guys, today I've got a review from SpeedCubeShop, but before I do the 8x8 and 9x9, I'm gonna start with these two puzzles I got, because I just want to try them. I've never really had one of those. I've never owned a Super Square one, and this is like a Super Square one shape mod, where you only have the larger edges, so technically it behaves kind of like a two-layer cheese puzzle. So I just wanted to try this out, because I've never really had any Super Square ones, as I said, and it seemed like it would be an interesting solve. Now, my first impressions right now are that it turns well only when it's aligned, and if you're just turning this like that, it's okay. Yeah, it does misalign quite easily because the center doesn't really know what to follow, I guess. So that's unfortunate. Let's just turn only the center. It does require some alignment. Let's try and see if this is misaligned, what happens. So nothing. So yeah, it does require a lot of alignment. Here maybe? Here that should go. Yeah, let's just try to misalign it as much as is tolerated. Yeah, nothing is tolerated. It needs to be perfectly aligned. So that's too bad. I don't even know how to solve this, and I don't know why I even scrambled it. But I think this is going to be a difficult solve, because these puzzles, they always seem easy, but when you have to turn half the puzzle at every turn, everything always messes up everything. Like, every single small turn is going to mess up everything else. I feel like the complexity of a puzzle is proportional to the number of pieces that turn, the proportion of pieces. So if for example, on a puzzle like a 3x3, you get 1/3 of the pieces that turn, it's going to be relatively easy, and when you do that on a puzzle where half the pieces turn, it's going to be harder. But that's just a theory I had. I haven't really proved it or know how to prove it. I have no idea how one could go ahead and prove that. Anyways, let's move on to this Rubik's magic before I start losing myself in that solve. Quality-wise, it's actually quite reasonable. I've never owned a small magic, but I remember like one of my first competitions was mainly centered around the Rubik's magic, because I was I was 16 years old, I think. No, I was 18 years old. And I just wanted to try this, and it looked like a fun dexterity puzzles, and it turns out I got like a 146, which was the 11th best time in France at the time, and it was removed right after, which means technically I have like the 11th best all-time solve of the magic, which is kind of cool considering. And it was like my first competition ever. I just binge solved this thing, and after like 2 hours I was down to 135 average, or 145 average, I mean. So yeah, it's a fun puzzle. I've always liked this one. It's always much harder to solve when you're not doing the sequence, obviously, but for some reason it's just not trivial at all. You have to actually think, and it's not that easy when you're scrambling it like that. You know, not conventionally, not just to get the fast solve. So let's move on to the interesting puzzles now. So these were made by Moyu. And, well, the 8x8 is called the MF8, so I don't know why Moyu is releasing an MF8 puzzle, but I guess soon you're going to see an MF8 puzzle coming out that's called the Moyu. I guess that would make sense. Anyways, you know, who am I to judge? So let's open this and see what's in there. Alright. Okay, first impressions, I guess. Okay, it spins reasonably well. It's not lubed, I think. It is kind of greasy. Some pieces are dry, some are greasy, so I guess it's not well lubed, but it is kind of lubed. Overall, the turning is nice. I still feel that it's too small, but at the same time, if it was bigger, I guess you couldn't really hold it in your hands properly. That's the issue with the 11x11. It's a nice puzzle to play with, but it's just too big. Now, it shows that they tried to go really small, but the cubies here, they're about as small as Oscar's 17x17 I saw a few weeks ago. I was going to say last weekend, because to me it was last weekend, but you're watching this like a month from now. I saw it at Dutch Cube Day. So let's just do that little checkerboard pattern. The faces don't all turn with the same friction level. This one seems to be smoother than the rest. I have no idea why, but it does seem quite smooth. Oh yeah, this is an 8x8, so essentially I'm not doing the same checkerboard. So yeah, anyways, this is what did I do? What the hell did I do? Okay, that is not something I wanted to do, but you know, shit happens, right? Let's just undo what I did. That should do it. Nice. Okay, but overall, I still think it's quite a fun puzzle to play with. I mean, it spins well compared to other 8x8s I've played with. It's quite reasonable, and I think it's going to be a fun solve because this isn't excessive. I know it's still a big puzzle, but it's not, you know, like those incredible 11x11s that are that big. So it's going to be quite a quick solve because it's easy to manipulate. Unlike the 11x11, which is hard to manipulate and has many more pieces, I think the 8x8 is probably going to take me 20 minutes. And I'm assuming the 9x9 has a very similar quality level, and I think that they chose cubies that are the same size. Let's see, nope, they didn't. Let's open this and see what it looks like without the plastic wrap around it. Now, let's align two. As you can see, if I align this layer on top, then you go down, 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 and these layers aren't aligned anymore, which means the dimensions are not the same. But then again, this is a 9x9. Okay, so this one is starting to be bigger in my hands. It feels way bigger than the 8x8 for some reason, even though there's just a little bit extra. I think this is starting to reach the limits of comfort when you're solving a puzzle. This is too big, in my opinion, to really enjoy the solve, because most of the solve is going to be me trying to grasp the puzzle properly and to grab it, you know, in a way that makes it comfortable to solve it. And I don't think that it's going to be a solve that's as fun as the 8x8 solve. So yeah, I still like it. I think it's going to be a good collector's item for me because I'm not going to solve it that many times anyways. I do think that I will solve it because 9x9 seems like a fun challenge. I've solved my 11x11, but it was way too big. This one still fits in my hands, so that's a good thing. I don't have to drop it on my knees to solve it. And I think I'm going to have fun with that. It does spin well, and to be honest, let's just, you know, it's a 9x9. It's not like it's a small 3x3 or 5x5. So this is honestly a very high level of quality for a puzzle that size. I know I designed like a 10x10, 12x12 as well. I never really played with them, but they looked a bit loose from the videos that I got. They looked like some parts were just moving apart from each other. And it's very easy on high order cubes, notably V cubes, to get parts that are just misaligned and don't go back together. Like this one, this is like the biggest misalignment I could get. On a V cube 7, you get more than that. So honestly, it's a puzzle that was really well designed, and I think it's definitely worth buying if you're interested in higher order cubes. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun solve, definitely. So yeah, I have that 9x9. I'm still gonna play with the 8x8 more, I think. And these two puzzles, these two puzzles that are gonna be, well, this one I'm gonna solve it like a few times and probably put it on a shelf, but this is still quite fun. And it's quite nice to see that they made a puzzle of this size, because this essentially fits in your pocket. You just put it like that, put it in your pocket, and you can take it anywhere. And that's not something you can say about a 3x3, because it kind of tends to hurt after about 30 minutes. So now I'm probably going to solve this off camera. I don't want to bore you with a solve of this puzzle, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I will be seeing you in the next one. So feel free to subscribe and hit that bell button that they added for no reason that I can think of, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.